Over 7 million illegal cars are being driven on Britain's roads every day.
The ones that obviously drive around and know it's got no insurance, to be honest, I've got no sympathy for them.
Each year, hundreds of thousands of vehicles are seized.
So the information is drivers tried to run over his ex-partner.
And locked up at one of the country's car pounds.
You've come to pick your car up, haven't you?
This time, we're on the road with the police.
You were quite clearly stopped at that red light, and then all of a sudden you decided you weren't going to stop for that red light and went through.
It's not taxed since July.
The parking enforcers.
We've got a persistent evader on Holly Street, over.
We're authorising for this vehicle to be removed.
And we've joined the people behind some of Britain's busiest car pounds.
We're trying to get loaded as quick as possible before we start gathering a crowd.
Do not cancel the insurance if you don't hear from a customer. So they cost me 6 points.
To uncover the shocking.
It's not uncommon for objects, food, liquids to be thrown at us out of flat windows.
The miserable.
So far, a £600 bill.
Distressing. It's very distressing.
I was just speechless. I was in tears.
And downright dangerous drivers committing all kinds of vehicle violations.
That's going to be where he's crashed.
These
The bike comes with us.
are the highway heroes cleaning up our streets.
£270 the first day.
He was called into A&E and he's now disappeared from A&E. We can't find him there.
And once you've lost your vehicle, if you don't pay the fine,
Can I give you the details of a removal, please?
If it's obstructing traffic, it's got to go.
you can wave goodbye to your wheels
Don't be stupid on bikes, respect the law.
for good. Not only do car pounds remove illegal cars, they also recover vehicles involved in accidents, even on a national holiday. It's a bank holiday and Ashley from CMG is heading out for his first job of the day.
So we're going to a police job. The notes for the job say it's on its roof. Sometimes things get exaggerated in this job, but we've got to take the scene and see how it's going. Because it's the Queen's funeral today, you know, it would have been nice to have the day off, you know, but not everyone can have time off. If the police are working, we're working, so.
The accident happened just 30 minutes ago,
Oh dear.
but it's looking like a major incident.
We're going to need full road closure for this one. You all right, mate? If we just shut the road for a minute, just in case anything comes off it or anything like that. So if I pull in that way, it'd probably be a minute or two road closure. Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
The road is closed in both directions so Ashley can safely assess the situation.
You can tell it's a very well-maintained car. It's had new brakes on it, new drop link. It's probably just been through its MOT or something, so.
The driver, who was not seriously injured, is in the ambulance and may need to be taken to hospital. The road must remain shut until Ashley can get the wrecked car recovered. There are approximately 1 million uninsured drivers on the UK's roads each year. But an army of enforcement officers have an arsenal of weapons to hunt them down, including automatic number plate recognition, or ANPR. In Surrey, PC Sean Begley and PC John Bryan are on patrol, and their ANPR system has just pinged a new lead.
So there was a vehicle that's hit an ANPR camera not too far from us with a report against it saying that it has activated speed cameras in the Warwickshire and Coventry areas, possibly falsely registered or falsely insured. So we're going to see if we can catch up to that vehicle now. Still no hits.
But the car appears to have vanished.
I suppose if it's done loads of speed cameras and it's not going to hang about, is it? There is. Single male occupant. We are going to stop that vehicle.
I'm quite impressed we managed to catch up with the vehicle because it triggered a camera some distance away. We're a good few miles behind it and it's on a motorway, potentially travelling quite quickly away from us. But nevertheless, we caught up with it and got him pulled over. That's Joe from Tango White 36.
Hello there. Are you the owner of the car? Are you the owner? Is your car, is it? Yeah, lovely. Have you got your driving licence on you, please? Whereabouts you come from? Where are you going to? Coventry.
The driver is a long way from his destination, and something else isn't sitting right with PC Begley.
It's just a smell, but I don't know whether it's... What's your name, please, sir? How long have you owned the car for? 2 or 3 weeks. What insurance have you got for the car?
Normal one.
Normal one? What's normal one? Who's it with? He's not the person listed on the insurance or the names or the registered keeper.
Oh, right.
He says that his car, he's had it 3 or 4 weeks. He's just trying to find his Romanian driving licence, but he's struggling.
What does it say about the insurance?
He says he's got normal insurance.
The man can drive in the UK if he has a valid EU licence. But with the car registered here, it must be insured to drive in the UK.
So you haven't got any insurance?
In Northampton, the roads are unusually quiet. It's a bank holiday, but Britain's car pounds like CMG are as busy as ever. And recovery driver Ashley has been called to a car that's landed on its roof.
I don't know anything about what's actually happened.
The driver was uninjured, but her car is a write-off, so it will need to be removed by CMG right away. Safely flipping a car back up onto its wheels is a challenge.
Then forces the car down and over. Got the handbrake on? Yeah. You know, it's not just the normal seizures we do. You know, they're our bread and butter, you know, but everyone enjoys going out to, like, you know, if you got a car on its roof in a ditch or a field, you know, it's not so much I like the aspect of the fact there's been an accident and it's there because obviously someone's injured or, you know, worse in it, but, you know, you've always got to use your brain. You know, it's not just as easy as you turn up, drive it on and you drive off. You know, you've got to turn up, you've got to really think about what you're doing to not cause any further injury to anyone else.
Ashley has to use all his experience to make sure he doesn't cause any further damage or spill any more hazardous wreckage onto the road.
You can open the right back up now, mate.
Unlike her car, the driver is fortunate to have come away in one piece, and now her possessions can be retrieved by her family.
Yes, mate, yeah, I'll give you 5 minutes to get off. 10 minutes, however you need to get stuff out.
Is it drivable, right?
New tyre.
Tyre?
I can tell it's just been for an MOT or something? Yeah. I was about to say, yeah, brand new disc pads, drop link, the lot in it.
And she was off to uni.
Really?
The Fiat is only fit for scrap. But first, it will need to be taken to the pound, where it will be assessed by the driver's insurance company.
The car was all packed up, ready to go. Starting a new life at uni and then the car being on its roof. But as long as she's all right and she walks home tonight, that's all that matters, really, innit? It don't matter about a car. Cars are easily replaceable. That's what insurance is for. You know, insurance company should have a new one in a couple of weeks.
Car loaded up, there is still glass and wreckage strewn across the ground. So it's crucial that Ashley and the police make the area safe.
That's teamwork.
Yeah. So you can see where it's rolled over. So it's gone up the lamppost, it's gone up on its side, then where it's hit there, that's rolled it over. You can see the gouge mark where this is where it's come over, and that's where it's just slid. A car will slide on its side or its roof further than you think. So obviously there's nothing stopping it. It's just, if it's your wheels, put your foot on the brake, it'll stop. But when it's on its side, it's just metal on tarmac, it'll just keep sliding. Plus it's going downhill, 30 mile an hour hitting that, the force of it rolling over, you know, as soon as it's rolled over on its roof, as far as it didn't slide a little bit further. The car's done its job, the airbags have done its job, you know, and saved their life basically. But it's not always we turn up to cars on their roof and they've walked away from it, so.
It's unknown at this stage what could have caused the accident. The police road traffic collision process team will look into this and relay any information to the driver's insurer. Ashley will get a closer look at the damage to the car back at the pound.
She's one lucky girl, I tell you.
Recent estimates suggest almost 2% of vehicles in the UK are untaxed, which amounts to almost £120 million in lost tax revenue. Across the UK, car pounds play a vital role in keeping our roads safe by linking up with the police and locking up any of the illegal vehicles that they seize. CMG have operated as a police recovery agent for over 40 years, and they collect and store up to 150 vehicles a week. Recovery driver Lewis has been called out to recover a vehicle that's just been seized by Northamptonshire Police.
This instance, I believe it's a 60-plate Astra that's on the northbound on the A43 towards Blisworth.
The car is with the police, but Lewis could have a problem if it's positioned on the busy road.
Because this truck, when we have to load it from the side, because of the size of the crane on the back. So we'll have to be next to it. So we might have to be in lane 1. So if the police are there, they'll have to cone off and close lane 1 for us so we can load it. Oh, there's our Astra.
Lewis is well used to recovering dangerously abandoned vehicles.
That car's been there for a while, to be honest. I always have a little bet with myself. I'm like, how many weeks before I go get that one? And yeah, normally it's a week or two and I'll be going to get it.
Around 21,000 vehicles were abandoned in the UK last year. So it's vital that the police and car pounds take action to remove these hazards from the UK's roads.
Oh look, there we go. Hello, mate.
Luckily for Lewis, the car is away from the busy traffic nearby.
Hello, mate. Hello there. No tax.
The police have confirmed the car is untaxed, so it can be seized with immediate effect and impounded.
I'll get it loaded, get it back to depot. Cheers very much.
If they want it back, the owner will have to claim it from the pound within 2 weeks.
That's it. All on, get back to the depot.
Lewis has a hunch about the fate of the car.
I don't think they'll come in for this one, but no taxes, depending on what it is. To be honest, most of them, I think, go for scrap. It's only the newer stuff that somebody will come back for, but yeah, I think most just goes for scrap, to be honest.
He's soon back at CMG with a new arrival. Most abandoned cars don't have keys, which means moving them around the yard can be challenging.
Well, luckily it's open slightly, isn't it? So we can always get the handbrake off and push it around with our forklift. So obviously, as long as it's not in gear, we can push it around on the front wheels if the handbrake is on. But most handbrakes, with a little bit of force, will move. Some handbrakes are amazing and you ain't gonna move it for anything, in which case, obviously, we have the bigger forklift where we can come in from the side and lift it up fully off the ground and take it around. Where there's a will, there's a way. Safety first.
Yard manager Terry will take over from here.
The window's open and the rain's going to get in.
All done, so that will now go into storage. And the owner has 14 days, I think, and then it will get scrapped. So we'll see if they come back for it.
Terry finds a spot for the Astra in the busy yard. It was never claimed and eventually sold at auction. Surrey police have stopped a car after their ANPR system flagged that the vehicle is wanted for speeding.
So you haven't got any insurance? Okay. Thank you for being honest about that. Have you got a driving licence?
Driving license. I don't have the passport, nothing. Maybe I have the photo.
If you've got a photo, I need to see a photo, otherwise I'll have to assume you don't have a driving licence. So, what I'm going to do is caution you, but you're not under arrest. So you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which later on in court, anything you do say may be given in evidence.
But lack of insurance isn't the only concern.
But there is a bit of a strange smell around. There's quite a lot of ash inside the vehicle. I think it does smell a little bit of cannabis.
So you've got no insurance for the car, we've established that much.
Well, that'll give you a drug wire.
Yeah.
PC Begley decides to test the driver for drugs.
Have you had anything to eat or drink in the last 20 minutes? No. You haven't smoked in the last 5 because I've been with you now. Okay.
England and Wales introduced roadside testing in 2015, and the testing kit uses a mouth swab to check for cannabis or cocaine.
Okay, so in a minute, stick your tongue right out for me, leave it like that, and I'll wipe this on your tongue, okay? Right, you ready to stick it right out?
The drug test is done, but will it show a positive result?
So at the moment, the driver's been drug wiped. He's got no insurance, and we can't verify if he has an entitlement to drive. He doesn't produce a driving licence. We have to wait for the results of the drug test to come back, which takes 8 minutes. Obviously, if they're over, then he'll be arrested, and we'll have to deal with the car in some other way. But if he's under, then we'll be seizing the vehicle for no insurance and probably tag on otherwise in accordance with the licence, just because we can't verify at the moment. So that's just what we're waiting for at the moment.
Driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs is one of the biggest causes of death on our roads.
There's a report on it on the police national computer saying it's been committing speeding offences in another part of the country, and it's potentially falsely registered or falsely insured, which to me suggests that they've been trying to prosecute for those offences and not been able to contact using the details associated with the vehicle. The driver, his details do not match that of the registered keeper or the insured party on the car. I guess we're going to just hold fire on what's going to happen depending on how that comes back.
A few minutes later, and the results are in.
You see on here, we've got 2 lines. That means it's a positive result for cannabis. Okay, so this time I'm arresting you on suspicion of driving a motor vehicle on a road whilst over the specified limit for cannabis or drugs, contrary to Section 5A of the Road Traffic Act 1988. So you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention, when questioned, something which will later on in court, anything that you do say may be given in evidence. Now what this means is we need to take you to a police station, take a specimen of blood from you, and we send that blood away to get it analysed. It takes a number of months. You'll be released, and we'll have to wait for the results to come back. Okay? I'm going to further arrest you also for driving with no insurance and driving otherwise than in accordance with a driving licence.
But there's a problem. The driver must be taken into custody. Normally, a car pound would recover the vehicle, but there isn't time to wait, so the officers have a backup plan.
Yeah, we take the car. You've got no insurance and no licence. I know you say you've got a Romanian licence, but you can't prove that to me.
Do you know what the ghost licence is for? What offences?
No insurance, okay. And that I'm not sure. So the car is being seized, yeah.
PC Begley will drive the seized car, and PC Brian will follow behind in the police vehicle.
Okay, I'll see you there. So we are now driving to a custody suite near Gatwick. So this is an interesting combination of an arrest and seizing a vehicle.
Meanwhile, Officer Begley gets to grips with the Audi.
So we're seizing the car, but because of logistics, the easiest way for us to deal with this, the most expedient way for us to deal with this, is to drive his car back to custody with us, where we'll arrange for recovery to come and pick it up. It's not the worst car I've been in, it's certainly not the best.
With the driver and car en route to the custody suite, there's still the issue of getting the vehicle to the local pound. Car pounds play a vital role in seizing vehicles from people who have broken the law. But sometimes it's the victims of crime that find themselves visiting the pound through no fault of their own.
Oh, hi, I've got an appointment to come and take some pictures of my car.
Sally's car was involved in a distressing early morning incident.
We were woken up by the police knocking at the door, I think it was about 1 o'clock on Saturday morning, and they said that my car had been damaged in a collision and that the driver had left the scene. The car was parked at the end of the street on the corner. It's kind of designated parking spaces. So we walked up to see the car and I think there was 4 vehicles involved. And then while I was there talking to the police, they had it radio through that they'd got the driver.
I don't drive around like a madman, and when I do see people driving around like idiots, then it puts me on edge, because I think, I'm not going to see that car in the yard tomorrow.
I have just popped on here, they're going to take some images and collect any of the property, but I have just seen like saying GT theme. If there's anything else in there,
Inside, it's just pictures.
that's fine. Can I just get you to sign, put your name and your address for me, just so I've got a record that you've gone to?
Yeah, it's just shocking, really, when you're woken up at 1 o'clock in the morning and somebody's ploughed into your car and driven off. It's not nice.
Yard manager Terry is on hand to show Sally and her daughter to her car.
Is that it?
No.
Oh my God. Wow.
Be careful around it because of any sharp edges, okay?
Okay, hold that while I take pictures. Oh my God, look at the state of my car. I wasn't expecting it to be that damaged, so yeah, it was a shock to see it. Look at the state of it. You buy it and you pay for it and you look after it, and then somebody else ruins it. So yeah, it is upsetting. The owner of the vehicle wasn't the driver, but we've been informed that the driver's got third-party insurance, so be insured for the vehicles that were damaged, but I assume not their vehicle, which has also been written off, as I understand.
Sally could make a no-fault claim, and the third-party insurance could cover the cost of the damages caused to her vehicle.
If there's somebody to claim off, then I can get my excess back. But if there's not anybody to claim off, then I'll lose the excess. I'll have to pay that.
The crumpled car will be sent for salvage for the insurance company.
You don't get what you paid for it. You only get the value of it, what it's worth now, so I'm out of pocket.
And a no-fault claim could still cause Sally's insurance premiums to increase. So ultimately, she could end up paying the price for the careless actions of another driver.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Everyone's car is such a big part of their life that they need it. So coming to find their car absolutely damaged to beyond belief, it's just, it really is hard for them.
Oh no, that's definitely right old.
Poor little car. Thank you.
No worries, you're welcome.
Elsewhere in Northampton, Ashley's now en route to the CMG car pound with the wrecked Fiat.
So we've just been to a police job and the car was on its roof, as the police said it was. I think she's very lucky, to put a car on its roof like that and then walk away from it. The poor girl was on her way to university, And, I think that'll be a bit delayed now.
Despite it being a bank holiday, back at CMG, it's business as usual. And Ashley will need to find space for the car in the packed pound. Once it's offloaded, he has time to try to piece together what might have happened.
Looks quite like she's hit the curb, which has then rolled it on its roof. You can see where it was on its roof because it slid, it was upside down. You can see where it's gone all the way over because there's scratches both sides and on the top. Obviously, the young girl was wearing a seatbelt, which is obviously what you're meant to do and what everyone has to do, not everyone does, We've all been out to accidents before and they've not been wearing this. And then if you look at the damage to the cars, you imagine your injuries if you weren't wearing your seatbelt.
Despite it being a legal requirement, almost 1 in 4 people killed on the UK's roads were not wearing a seatbelt.
People don't quite realise how much a seatbelt saves your life, you know. I'm not going to lie, when I first started driving and that, you know, I thought it was, you know, silly to wear your seatbelt because all your mates would laugh at you, you know. I was young, I was stupid. But doing this job now, like, you see it day in, day out, you know. If people was to do our job, they didn't wear seatbelts and was on their phones all the time, you know, it wouldn't be long after doing this job, you'd soon start buckling up, start putting your phone down. It's not worth it, you know.
Ashley's love of motoring brought him into the job in the first place, and his knowledge of the industry is second to none.
I can't imagine them coming back for this. You know, this is a write-off. You know, this will probably be a Cat B write-off, so it won't be allowed back on the road. You know, it would probably only be allowed for parts. It's probably a £5,000 car. You know, would you want to, you know, say the outside was a £2,000 damage, would you want to spend £4,500 repairing a vehicle, but it's only worth £5,000, you know? You know, so they won't. But what they'll do is they'll notify their insurance that we have their vehicle, and then we'll sort it out with the insurance about where it goes. 9 times out of 10, the insurance company will just come and collect it off of us and it'll go for salvage.
It's a stark reminder of the importance of wearing a seatbelt.
I couldn't imagine how scared the poor girl was. It might have been, you know what I mean, to her it was a split second, a blink of an eye and it was over. Still can't believe she walked away from it.
There are hundreds of compounds all over the UK that work alongside law enforcement to protect us from illegal drivers. In idyllic northwest Scotland, Mora Motors work with police to recover these dangerous vehicles and take them off the road. But sometimes they complete recoveries that are much more out of the ordinary.
We've just got a job in for a fire engine on the island of Barra at the airport. The fire engine is the main one for the airport, so they can't operate without it.
The island of Barra off the far west coast of Scotland has a population of 1,200 people. They and the 15,000 tourists that visit here every year rely heavily on the airport, which can't operate without a working fire engine. Another engine has been borrowed from an airport on a neighbouring island, but juggling resources is causing disruption.
We look after all the emergency services, and this is obviously one of these times where we've had to go a wee bit further than normal to collect a fire engine and take it back off the island.
The fire engine has a broken gearbox and needs to be transported to a specialist dealer back on the mainland for a replacement.
So we're just going to go and head off to Oban, where we'll get the ferry over to Castle Bay and the island of Barra.
So today, instead of impounding illegal vehicles,
heavy fire engine, bigger truck.
Ewan has the important task of helping to keep this key remote infrastructure open.
We'll need to get going.
Yeah.
We'll need our time.
But unless Big Neil moves his recovery truck sharpish,
Neil, can you move back? I need to...
Ewan will miss the ferry.
Get going.
After some car park Tetris, Ewan's 240-mile round road trip is finally underway.
Right, I'm away.
The job requires using the largest truck in the fleet.
This is a Mercedes Actros. It's just got the recovery body on it, so we can carry 4 cars, and the top deck goes completely flat, so we can use it for carrying larger vehicles. That's the reason why we've got it today, so we can get this fire engine on. This is the boss's pride and joy. But I'm not overly keen on driving it. It's a little bit bouncy for myself, but each to their own.
The road trip across the beautiful Scottish Highlands will take 3 hours. And there are some nervous moments along the way.
It's quite low, this bridge. It's about 3-inch clearance. And there's the boat sitting waiting on us. See it in the harbour. Here we are in Oban.
Smooth sailing so far. Next, it's a 10-hour round ferry trip, and then the job to recover the broken-down airport fire truck can begin. Surrey police have arrested a motorist suspected of driving without insurance and who's also tested positive on the roadside for drug driving. The officers have driven in convoy to a nearby police custody suite where the driver must now provide a blood sample.
It's RPU with the drug driver. Yeah, come here, mate. Thank you. Just come through here.
Drivers found to be under the influence of drugs whilst in charge of a vehicle could face a minimum 12-month driving ban, up to 6 months in prison, and an unlimited fine.
So I'm going to be calling for recovery, get the car taken away for no licence and no insurance. The gentleman is inside custody at the moment, hopefully having his blood taken as we speak, and then that will be sent away in due course to a laboratory to be analysed, where we'll hopefully find out what the results are in terms of whether the level of cannabis in his blood is above or below the specified legal limit. He says he wants to get his car back, which is fine. A bit weird. I thought he'd get rid of it, to be honest, given the costs involved, but he says he wants it back. So he'll have 14 days to get it back. If he doesn't, the recovery company will get rid of it, scrap it, or destroy it, or sell it, I imagine. Excellent. Can I arrange recovery, please, for 165, no licence, no insurance?
Yeah, certainly. Can I have your registered number, please?
The police contact their headquarters in order to arrange recovery by one of their car pound partners.
Audi A4 black.
That's correct, yeah. Okie dokie, that's fine. Thank you very much.
PC Begley's experienced enough to know that what starts off as a no insurance is often just a tip of the iceberg.
I think people who are happy to risk driving with no insurance or driving with no licence are generally also happy to risk doing other things like drink or drug driving or driving at high speed or driving dangerously. So it might seem like a small thing, but it often leads to other offences being identified as well. It gets them off the road, it makes the road safer.
That Audi A4 please, isn't it?
Yeah. I have the keys and the paperwork. And also it's justice. I have to have insurance, I have to drive with a licence, I have to make sure my car's taxed and MOT'd and that I'm not drinking drug driving. Why should we allow people on our roads who don't do that?
Only time will tell if the driver was over the limit for drugs, but his vehicle is now safely in the hands of the car pound. The Audi wasn't collected, so it was sent for auction. The driver didn't produce a valid driving licence, and his details were passed on to West Midlands Police in relation to the outstanding speeding offences.
It's all about road safety at the end of the day. We've potentially taken someone who's got no driving licence off the road, who's certainly not insured. We want to try and prevent death on the road, and I think that we've done that today.
In northwest Scotland, recovery truck driver Ewan is en route to locate a broken-down airport fire engine on the Isle of Barra and transport it back to the mainland for essential repairs.
Here we are in Barra, just about to go and find the fire engine.
The once-a-day ferry has taken 5 hours, but luckily the airport is just 20 minutes away. And he's just discovered an unforeseen issue.
No 4G signal. So, not much in the way of navigation. How hard is it to hide an aeroplane?
This tiny airport is believed to be the only one in the world that serves regularly scheduled commercial flights on a beach runway.
I think they'd have at least one signpost to say airport. It's not like Glasgow Airport or Stansted or something. It's a wee bit more remote. Beep beep.
But without sat-nav, it's proving hard to find.
All the signs are in Gaelic. Unless there's pictures, I don't understand them. I mean, I don't understand signs in English either. See, when we came out, we should have gone left and left, I think. This has just come back round to where we came in.
Ewan's decided to follow his nose and keep his eyes peeled.
We're about 14 minutes from where we're meant to be. And we're on the right road as well. And here's a sign for Barra Airport. Here we are at the airport. And that looks like our fire engine there. There we have it, one fire engine. That'll do.
Now he just needs to find the keys, but the airport seems completely deserted.
There's nobody at the terminal, so I've made a call back to the office. The keys have been left in it. Yeah, we can just drive in, open the gates and help ourselves to the vehicles and clear off again. One set of keys.
The 26-ton recovery truck soon makes light work of getting the fire engine loaded.
Looking good. It fits.
The wheels are then strapped down, ready for the return journey back to the mainland.
OK, that's us ready to go.
With nowhere to eat nearby and an overnight stay awaiting him, Ewan's determined not to go to bed on an empty stomach and is channeling his inner survival skills.
There's nowhere for food, so parking up in a lay-by and barbecue at 10 o'clock at night. That'll do. One barbecue. Let it heat up. Kettle's on. Coffee and burgers.
Ewan's truly prepared for any eventuality.
Yep. Fire engine if the barbecue gets a wee bit wild. I don't think they're too bad, eh? We'll chance them. Oh, yeah, 10:41. We're just cooking dinner. We can't even see Battersea anymore. It's cooked. Mmm. Crunchy.
The ferry leaves at the crack of dawn, so Ewan better not get lost on the way back.
Okay, that's 10 to 12. Time for bed. We'll be up at 6 in the morning. I'm just going to go and get into my bed here now. Go off. Off. Good night.
In northwest Scotland, Ewan is waking up to a new day, having spent the night in his cab in the Barra wilderness. He now needs to make sure he doesn't miss the once-a-day ferry.
The ferry boat. Waiting on us. I hope. We'll just get down there and she'll pull away.
Ewan needs to use all his skill to navigate these narrow roads. With just 10 minutes to spare, he makes it back on the ferry.
Pretty good. That'll do.
But first things first.
Let's go and get breakfast.
5 hours later, and the ferry has arrived back in Oban in time for the next leg of the journey.
Hi Michael, that's me off the boat now. Well, you might get out before me. Michael's here, he's picking up some cars and vans in Oban. He'll follow us back to Fort William, where we'll both park up and he will take this truck with the fire engine down to Perth. Yeah, depending on availability of parts, it will depend on how long it takes for the fire engine transmission to be repaired. But once it's repaired and ready to go back in service, somebody will have to do this journey all over again. Take it back to Barra Airport and maybe meet somebody this time.
2 days and 2 ferry rides later, that's this job done for Ewan. Now back to base for the next car pound recovery. The CMG car pound picks up illegal vehicles 7 days a week, which can make for a busy Monday at the yard after a weekend of action.
Hello, how can I help? Do you have photo ID for the person that was authorised to collect?
This young driver is at the pound with his dad after the police laid down the law over the weekend.
That's perfect. Put your photo ID back there. You've got £150 to pay today.
Luckily for this young man, the bank of dad is always open.
Oh, just came here to collect a car that was towed on that Friday night. What happened is I was driving a car, but since I'm not insured under it, because when police stopped me, they got the car and brought it here, CMG.
He claims that he drove the car because he thought his dad's insurance also covered him. But this common misconception was wrong.
So you can take the cards. So I need you just to sign and print in that section there for me, and then fill in this bottom box for me as well. Perfect, let me go get your receipt for you with your vehicle ready, alright? There's your invoice there, and your vehicle will come out this gate just here. Yeah? Alright, thank you.
His offence of driving without insurance ultimately could result in a £300 fine and 6 points on his licence.
Been quite smooth sailing, to be fair. Yeah, not too bad. What my dad had to do was basically send documents in and to come and collect the car later on, basically. The process was quite easy, to be fair. It wasn't too hard. It was supposed to take 3 days, but we were able to get sorted out today. Staff were lovely, to be fair. They came out, told us what we had to do. It was quite straightforward to the point, so they were happy about the service as well. Everyone was lovely and friendly, even the customers as well, to be fair. Yeah, so it's all good. Dad's left happy, just eager to go home, I guess, now, innit? Yeah.
Hopefully, with a supportive dad by his side, this visit to the car pound will be his last.